what's up with these emojis, right? They're cool, right? Everybody's got their little funny pictures. You can tell how you're feeling and all this stuff with just this little picture. Everybody thinks it's real cool. It's cool. This is some new stuff, right? This is the sign of the times. Well, there's nothing new under the sun. This isn't the first time in history that we've used emojis in language. And I don't think people really understand, because if you really understood, you guys wouldn't be using this stuff. Because the first time that they used emojis was in the first civilizations on this planet. Everything was symbology. They used pictures to represent everything. So you think it's so cool how it's funny faces and all this, yeah, it's real nice, it's simple. But in reality, what it's doing is teaching you how to be stupid, because you're not using your brain function. They're basically saying that the kids today, that our youth, are not smart enough to utilize the written language. You understand? Because in history, they had emojis. It was called hieroglyphs. In ancient Egypt, they used to write with pictures. They didn't have a written language, because a written language requires a much more of a thought process. See, when we write and we read, and our brain has synapses that fire electrical impulses back and forth to transmit information. And our brain is a muscle, just like any other muscle on your body. But what a lot of people are failing to realize, it's the most powerful tool that you have. It's the most powerful muscle that you have. You could build yourself up with weights all day long, and you could be the best athlete and all of this, but what happens when you get old? Or what happens if you walk out in traffic and get hit by a car and now you're in a wheelchair, or your muscles don't work and you don't know how to think? You're broken. But see, when you harness your brain power, you could be a cripple in a wheelchair and be smart enough to get people to do everything else that you need for you without even having to pay them. So when you look at these pictures, your brain isn't firing like it should be, as if you were reading a book. You're looking at little happy pictures. It's really disrespectful when you think about it, because basically they're saying, oh, they don't need to know how to read. People in history fought to be able to learn how to read. The original slaves. And see, that's what that goes back to. Ancient Egypt, where the mass people were slaves, and they didn't want them understanding stuff. They didn't want them learning. They didn't want them thinking. They wanted to rule with absolute authority. We are de-evolving as a society, and our youth are helping them. They're being brainwashed. These emojis, yeah, they're cute and funny, ha ha ha, but let me tell you something. It's the slave language. It's the language of the ancient slaves. That's what it is. Little pictures. Because, reading a whole word, that's just way too much work. That's right. And your brain isn't working. You're looking at little happy pictures like a 2-year-old. Haha, smiley face, a smiley face. You're not thinking, people. You're not thinking about this, and you're not thinking about nothing else that's going on around you. People, since the beginning of time, have been fighting to break free of slavery and learn how to read and write. And now, these savages, these corporate savages, start these trends that everybody thinks is so cool, but what they're really doing is putting you back into slavery. I know a lot of people don't want to listen to this, but it's the truth, and the truth hurts. Wake up, stand up, and break them chains. They are trying to oppress us. They're taking away your freedom of thought, and you don't even know it. See, that's how they operate. They get you to enslave yourself, and you do it with a smile on your face. They are dumbing us down. Do you understand? There is nothing new under the sun. All this stuff has happened before. They are bringing back the days of old. Please, do yourselves a favor. Do our next generation a favor. Wake up. Think. Read a book.